What if you could actually see history? I mean, not just read about it in a book, but watch it unfold as if you were right there. Well, today, we're going to do exactly that. We are going to use the power of AI to rebuild some of the biggest moments from the TATA Empire's 150-year journey. I'm not just going to show you their incredible story, but also how you can bring any piece of history to life just like this. Let's dive in.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out how to write a script that covers more than a century of history. Then, the fun part. We'll use AI to visualize and then animate those key moments. After we add some sound to make it feel real, we're going to step back and really look at the powerful legacy we've just brought to life.
All right, first things first, let's talk about the big idea here. You know, we often think of history as something static, kind of trapped in old photos and textbooks. But with the tech we have today, we can totally change that. We can make the past feel present.
I mean, really, stop and think about that for a second. What if you could see the world not like you're looking at a documentary, but from a first-person point of view? That's exactly what these new AI tools let us do. We can create these super immersive historical videos that make you feel like you're actually there. And for our little experiment today, we're tackling the incredible 15-year legacy of the TATA Group.
Every great movie, every great story, it all starts with a script. So our first big challenge is this. How in the world do you take 150 years of a nation-building empire and squeeze it into a narrative that actually makes sense? Let's find out.
So, to build our script, we need a map, a timeline. The whole story kicks off way back in 1877 with Jamshedji Tata's dream of a self-reliant India. Boom! By 1907, that dream is real steel with India's first world-class steel plant. Then, in 1932, J.R.D. Tata takes to the skies, pioneering aviation with Tata Airlines. Fast forward to 1968, and they launch TCS, which basically kicks off India's entire IT revolution. And finally, 1991. Ratan Tata takes the helm and turns the group into the global giant we know today. These are the moments, the core scenes we need to bring to life.
Okay, so how do we get from that epic timeline to an actual script? Well, we start with the simple chat. I'm using ChatGPT here, kind of like a creative brainstorming partner, to help me figure out how to break down this huge story into visual, emotional scenes that'll really connect with you.
And the process is actually really straightforward. First, you just ideate. Ask the AI for some first-person video concepts about the Tata Empire. Next, you ask it to generate the key scenes based on that timeline we just talked about. And this is the crucial part. You then ask for detailed visual prompts for every single scene, making sure to specify a photorealistic style so it feels totally real.
And this is the kind of gold you find. This is what brings history to life. It's not just a boring fact, it's a real story. A chance meeting on a ship between Jamsetji Tata and Swami Vivekananda. Just a conversation between two people, and it planted the seed for the Indian Institute of Science. This is exactly the kind of powerful visual moment we can build our whole narrative around.
All right, our script is ready, our prompts are written, and now it's time to create the visuals. We're moving from words on a page to actually seeing this empire with our own eyes.
For this part, we turn to AI image generators. You've probably heard of them, tools like Midjourney or Pika. And the process couldn't be simpler. We literally copy and paste the detailed prompts we crafted with our script AI, and we feed them right into the image generator to start building our historical world. Now just look at the level of detail in this prompt. This is based on a real story about J.R.D. Tata. It specifies the point of view from inside the car itself, the person, what he's doing, the location, even the year. See, this kind of specificity is what tells the AI to create an image that's not just pretty, but is packed with history and emotion. Okay, we've got our script, we've got our still images. Now for the part that feels like actual magic. It's time to animate this legacy and make history move.
So next up are the AI video generation tools. And honestly, the process is ridiculously simple. You upload the image you made, you give it a basic prompt like subtle camera pan or make the propellers spin, and the AI just brings the static moment to life. This is how we add that critical layer of realism.
We have our animated scenes. Beautiful. But now we need that final layer of polish that makes it all feel truly immersive. And that means sound design and editing.
Yeah, some of the AI tools can generate basic audio, but a really immersive experience comes from layering different sounds. We can mix AI-generated effects with sounds from libraries like Pixabay. Engine noises, the hustle and bustle of a city, the sound of rain falling. This rich soundscape is what really pulls you, the viewer, right into the scene.
And finally, we bring it all home in an editor like CapCut. You just import your animated clips, you arrange them on the timeline to tell your story, trim them to perfection, sync up all that great audio, and add your titles. It's the final assembly that turns all these separate pieces into one single powerful story.
So that's the whole creative process. But as you start putting these moments together, from the steel mills to the airlines, a really powerful theme starts to emerge. You realize the story we're telling isn't just about building a business, it's about building a nation. And that right there is where the real legacy is.
Take this number, for example, 66%. Under Ratan Tata, the group went from being a mostly Indian company to a true global corporation. 2/3 of its gigantic revenue now comes from outside the country. That is a breathtaking expansion of vision.
Now, think about this. The leader of a company with over $100 billion in revenue. What do you think his personal net worth is? The answer might actually shock you. Just $1 billion. It's an impossibly low number, and it tells you absolutely everything you need to know about the company's philosophy.
That $1 billion net worth, it puts him somewhere around 350th on the world's richest list. So why? Why so low? Because the Tata family never stockpiled wealth for themselves. It was always about their core principle, profit with a purpose. They chose to build respect, not just riches, and to put the nation's progress ahead of their own personal fortune.
So as we put the finishing touches on our AI-powered history lesson, we see that the real story here isn't about the technology at all. It's about a timeless, incredible model of leadership.
There's actually a framework that perfectly captures what the Tatas are all about. It's called the 4V model. First, vision. They were always pioneers, from steel to software. Second, values. They had this unbreakable commitment to ethics and community. Third, valor. That's the moral courage and humility you see in stories like J.R.D. Tata stopping his car in the rain. And finally, victory. I mean, the results speak for themselves, right? A global impact built over 150 years.
And maybe nothing sums it all up better than this quote from the man himself. When Ratan Tata was asked how he wanted to be remembered, his answer was so simple: as a person who made a difference. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just a statement of incredible humility and purpose, and it's at the very heart of this entire 150-year legacy.
So we just used technology to relive the story of leaders who truly believed in making a difference. We saw just how accessible these tools are for telling incredibly powerful stories. So the real question I want to leave you with isn't just about the technology. It's about purpose. What story, a story that really matters to you, will you bring to life?